Welcome, welcome, welcome to One Take Wine. What are we even doing here? Summertime, Sweden. Thought we'd do something a little bit different about something I promised to do. Explore some Perrieres, some Meursault Perrières from a producer that I admire quite a lot, and also compare it to a very rare cuvee that he started making 1,000 bottles a year or something. So it's kind of interesting to try them. Summer in Sweden, but dreaming of France. Let's get her on. What do we got in the glass? Wow. I just opened these not too long ago, so they're playing a little shy and hard to get right now, but there's stony raciness of this. 2015 Meursault Perrières is coming to the fore, and at the same time it's very, very elegant. It's just sort of tiptoeing its way into a full force picture for me. Lime and lemon, lime more. Very, very soft and floral. Surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, with Meursault Perrières, it's not really the type of wine that's a big, fat, oily character. It's a little bit more of a hi. It's a little bit more of a mineral, sort of clean mineral type feel to it. Very, very long, very floral, very elegant. There's a little nuttiness in the follow through in the finish. That's a dead giveaway. But at the same time, that elegance and that purity of Perrières, that's the one that really kind of gets you. This, on the other hand, this has got a little bit of, it's got the lime as well, but almost softer and a bit sweeter and a bit more candied. And a little bit more, maybe, I don't know, juicy. I think some hints of, I want to say wax or something. Lighter though, much lighter in the body. Outward appearances, it has a much oilier and heavier texture, I would say, a little bit more palate coating. But the finish isn't flourishing in the way that the 2015 is just right this second. It's not going in a trajectory like this. It's going in a trajectory like this. So, very, very interesting. Nice way to kind of get this started. I wanted to talk a little bit about Bouzereau's Perrières in general. Most people know Meursault and know Meursault Perrières because Meursault Perrières is one of the most famous examples of Premier Crus from there, and it's often talked about in terms of elevation to Grand Cru. I think in some producers I've seen the potential for that. The Rouleau's, I remember the 02 and the 01, is Perrières. I thought they were Grand Vin. I think it still needs a little extra oomph for it to be considered Grand Cru. It's probably elegant compared to other Meursaults. The Meursault Geneviève, for instance, I find is probably my favorite of the Meursaults because it's so typical Meursault. It's so it's got that sort of nuttier and big-bodied and still elegant, but with a kind of a plushness to it that you don't find so often in wines from anywhere else in the world, even, maybe you might argue. The Perrières is a stonier and more mineral. It's the terroirs on hard rock. And that gives it that kind of that sort of almost drying quality to it, and at the same time that sort of elegance of Prigny, that floral sense and linen and soft summer breeze type of thing. Michel Bouzereau's Perrières are very highly sought after these days. The most highly sought after are, of course, Cocherie and Rouleau, and the prices reflect that. Here we're not into that range. I don't think they're competing in the same way. I think the Cocherie, for instance, maybe has a little bit more reduction to it, has that match flint type of nose touch to it. And these, they don't have that. They have a much more purer sense, kind of like not trying to get all of that out. A little bit more finesse oriented and maybe not as pushy and powerful. Domaine in 2014, their Perrières was a little bit of the same. It feels subdued in some sense. I think they need time. I think they need a lot of time. 2015 was not a particularly great vintage. That's what everybody says in white Burgundy, but I sort of disagree, especially these days. I think they're drinking really well right now. Maybe this Perrières could sit for a few more years, but like I said, I just opened it a few minutes ago. The 1473, on the other hand, is a terroir. It's a little plot that the Bouzereaux have had, sort of stuck right in the middle of it's surrounded on all sides by Perrières. This has got almost a smokiness to it as well. Maybe that's the youth of the wood. This is absolutely brilliant. It's a lime drop, lime drop candy to the 2018. Made a vintage in 2017, 2018. I think there's one in 2019 as well. I haven't seen any vintages further than that so far. I don't know what the intent is with the terroir. I know that he's not allowed to even call it Meursault Village. It's not part of the appellation. It can't be called that. I think it has to be called a Vin de Pays or something. So he just went with 1473, which is the size of the plot. And apparently it's very, very steep. They bought it. They reconditioned it, they replanted it. It wasn't planted to vines before 2012. So very young vines, and maybe that's the kind of the difference here in the sense where I said, one of them was kind of going stratosphere and the other one is slowly achieving, getting a little air under its wings. But still, what an elegant and delicious wine. And the previous bottle I had of this, my assumption was that it would fall far short of the Perrières. So, because the perfume is much more multi-dimensional in a way. It's much more candied, and it has a little nuttiness in the end there. That kind of, okay, yep, we are in Meursault. It's almost the way Jura wines, that oxidization kind of feel to it. These wines are not oxidized, believe me, they're not. I mean, just look at the color of that. There's no way. And it's nowhere near that on the nose, and you wouldn't get that impression from the nose. There is a little butter. A little popcorn, maybe. But it's so fine chiseled, so fine boned. Just a little loose, if you compare it to the Perrières. Which, take a look at this color again. I mean, this is 2015. I would argue it's not much darker, and if it is, I don't think it's advanced at all in terms of how it looks. On the nose, it's much deeper, much richer, much more burnt brown butter, black butter. A little spicier too. There's some odd, almost clovey spice, but just a hint. And bread, although I think. Yeah, it differs in the mid palate. It's an undeveloped mid palate. It's still sitting, needs to kind of unfurl a little bit, needs some time. Maybe that'll come later on this afternoon. Maybe that'll come with time. I don't know, but that's my suspicion. Because right now, that typical Perrières stoniness sort of follows it right through to the finish. But the nose is developing and unfurling a lot faster than the palate is. I should probably give it a decant when I'm enjoying it for the rest of the afternoon. Michel Bouzereau, Perrières, 1473. Should you buy them? I think so. I had a 2016 Perrieres Meursault Perrières from these guys, and I thought that was Grand Vin. I don't think either of these is Grand Vin. I think these are very, very proper, top-notch Premier Cru. Boy, oh boy, what a drink. All right, that's what I have for this time. Thanks a lot for watching. Hey, stay thirsty.